Welcome to our show, Tough Talks Unlimited, co-hosted by Derrick Bowles and myself, Michael Garth. In this show, we're going to hear from world-class leaders and innovators, people who are willing to have positive conversations and share their insights on tough talks to get you through tough times. Let's get started.
First and foremost, man, I'm super excited to have an unbelievable guest, an unbelievable person on the show. Walter Jordan, how are you doing, sir?
I'm blessed, brother. Blessed and highly favored. It's good to be on with you gentlemen today.
Well, most indeed, it really is. And man, you've I looked over your bio and boy, how impressive it is. And you have you played at Purdue. That's for years been our nemesis here at Michigan State, and we've always tried to beat you guys. Who did you play for while you were there? Who were you under who was your head coach during that time?
You being a Spartan and being in the Big Ten, you understand the 70s, late 70s and early 80s when the Big Ten was clearly the superior conference in the country.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that lightly. It was clearly. We had to lace them up against the Michael Thompsons, the Kevin McHale's,
Right.
the Matty Johnsons, the Indiana team just back-to-back and defeated. I believe I played in the best era of the Big Ten. I mean, every Big Ten team had NBA players. Even Wisconsin had Wes Matthews. I mean, Illinois,
Right.
So we had every night you had to put lace them up. And the Big Ten's always been tough. Like any other conference basketball is conference basketball. No matter what you look
Absolutely.
at it. But something about the Big Ten in the 80s when you look at some of the top 50 players in the country now, playing against Larry Bird and
Right.
same age, Magic and Michael Thompson, all those type of guys, Kevin McHale,
Right.
Ray Williams. I mean, you look
Right.
across the board, man. It was like, let's go do battle. Let's have some fun.
Right.
So
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
No doubt, a very exciting era. But who was your head coach during that time while you were there at Purdue?
We had I ended up signing with Purdue. Michigan State was one of my final five choices with Marquette.
Oh, wow.
And Michigan State. You might remember the Michigan State team back in the day, Terry Fairlows of the world.
Absolutely.
And so I was real close to going to Michigan State. Everything was 2 hours from my home, which is important. Marquette. So my mom had just passed away my senior year. So I had three younger brothers, and I wanted to stay close to home. So I was looking for somewhere. So Fred Schaus was a guy who coached Jerry West and Chamberlain and Baylor with the Lakers. He was a general manager and head coach at the Lakers. So he got the Purdue job. And so, a lot of promises made, that kind of thing. And I just thought he could help me get to that next level.
Gotcha.
And so we played with Joe Barry Carroll, some of the names. Jerry Seasting, some of those names.
Yes.
Like Cal Macy for a year. So we had a very strong team. We never finished any worse than third in the Big Ten in my 4 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow. And as you said, man, you played probably in one of the toughest eras of Big Ten history.
Absolutely.
And all of those names, I know all about those guys, man. The conference is still one of the best in the country now, but it's nowhere near what it was back during that time because guys really didn't leave to go to the league early. And all those pros that was on every single team probably had three pros during that time. And,
Absolutely.
It was tough.
Absolutely, Coach. And you look at the Hall of Fame coaches that we had coaching in that league. We had the Bill Muslin, the Bobby Knights, the Lou Hicksons. Every team had Hall of Fame coaches. So if you were a top college coach in the depth in the Big Ten from top to bottom, there was no drop off from fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth play. It was like, and back then it could only take two teams if you were lucky to the dance. It was 32 teams.
Absolutely, right.
You had to win the Big Ten to get automatic.
Exactly.
It wasn't automatic. You were going to the dance.
Right.
So 32 teams, everybody gets in. It's like day and night.
Yeah.
And as as you know, I'm excited to be here, and I'm learning a lot by this conversation, because in my mind, I'm like, man, that was a different time than when we grew up. But one of the things that I want to kind of circle back and talk about is something simple, but I think it's important. You know, we connected in Dallas, right?
Yes.
And tell, you know, one of the things that I think is powerful is, and I know you're involved with a number of things right now that impact young people, because that's really why we want to have you on the show, the stuff that you're doing outside. But I think we did something about developing mentoring, which is a big deal. Do you remember those times and some of the things that you did and some of the things that you're currently doing?
Yeah, it was an honor to be on that leadership committee with you. Such people as Norm Nixon and Walter Davis, and guys that we grew up idolizing and watching, and the NBA came together and they put together this leadership panel. It was just an honor to be in Dallas for that weekend and figuring out what we can do to help these young kids coming through the system. But to be recognized and as such, as someone who can help mentor kids at that age. Years ago, it's been a blessing. We all have responsibilities and obligation and a responsibility, because somebody helped us. No one can accomplish anything
Absolutely.
but by themselves. And you got to. I was blessed to have 3 older brothers. I had standards in my household. Right? There are certain things that we know that Jordans didn't do, and Jordan was expected to do, and without being said,
Right.
Treat people right, looking people in the eye, being honest, don't steal, don't cheat. I always say that liars lie, cheaters cheat, winners win, and leaders lead. And so when God grants us the ability to lead, we have to lead. So I always tell people, I don't want a lot of trophies. We want a lot of trophies, but I want to be a walking trophy. I want to help create.
Sure.
I want to see there go a leader. And I see Derrick. There go a leader. There's a man who's overcome some great things, who's done some amazing things. He's touching people's lives. There go his coach who's touched thousands of people's lives. That's a walking trophy. You might have won a couple of trophies with Coach D, but I'm sure he's proud of the fact that you're a walking trophy, because there's a great father. There's a Christian brother. There's somebody touching some other lives. That's what we live for. That's our responsibility. That's what I get excited about.
Man, that's powerful.
I want kids to be walking trophies. I want to win the tournament. Don't get me wrong, I'm a competitor. But at the same time, I look at 40 years opposed to 4 years. What are we doing in our communities? We need that today more than ever in our communities. We know what's out here. We know the odds. We know what's going on out here in this world. And everybody's lying about something. Let's stop all the lying. Let's be transparent. And my favorite topic is have the kids do an exercise and say, and the truth is. And the truth is. And it's
that's powerful right there. That's powerful.
I love that. Write a letter to themselves so they can tell their kids. And I have kids do this, their parents are shocked at what the kids are saying.
Wow.
So we're not listening to our kids. We tell them how great we used to be and not listen to what their needs are and what they're dying to have you, to come out of them. Listen to me, Mom, Dad. Here's what I see what's going on in this world. Right. And we need to fix it. So that's that inspires me when I hear kids telling me. It's sad sometimes because the parents don't even know what these kids are feeling. They're just leading to suicidal thoughts, anxiety, other things, because parents are not listening to their kids. We still talk. Yeah, when I was young, I don't care about that.
Right. Sure. Right.
Sure. It's a battle. Sure. It's a battle.
Sure. Absolutely. I was just going to ask you that very question that you kind of just went there, but I was going to ask you, how do you think that tied into the mental illness issues that we're seeing amongst a lot of young people, and particularly amongst African American youth, and Walter, back in the day, you never heard of that within our community, right? But nowadays, unfortunately, we're facing those same issues,
man.
Well, absolutely. We heard about what's going on in this community, but I heard more for what's going on in our own community,
right?
Because we have to be more direct, and we have to be stronger. We have to be bolder with our kids. Someone asks me all the time about the critical race theory and all that stuff. My whole thing is this. It's my responsibility to teach my children my history, my family's history, my DNA history, and Black history. It's my responsibility, not the school responsibility.
Right.
And I always tell people this: just be transparent. Whether you white, black, brown, green, whatever color you are. I hate the isms crap, the label crap. So whatever you are, just be transparent about your own history. Right. And if you're transparent about your own history, by happenstance, you'll find out about everybody else's history.
Yeah.
You find out what you did to those people.
Sure,
you find out how the Indians got treated. You find out what the real did. But today, you don't have to read about history. All you got to do is turn on the news today. It tells you exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
exactly.
This stuff is real out here.
Exactly.
And, so we don't have to worry about them hiding in the history books because it's right here today, prevalent, right in their faces. And kids see this.
And you know what? Walter? I totally agree with that. And I grew up in the AME church. And, you know, the history of the AME church goes way, way back because one of the biggest things other than, you know, besides actually, you know, preaching the word of God and teaching the word of God was to teach us about who we are. Mm-hmm. And if you go back and look at the history, you know, with Richard Allen, when he, you know, moved away from the Methodist Church and started the African Episcopal Methodist Church, I mean, those ministers, because it was such a strong church body, those ministers, you know, a lot of the white supremacists in those groups were killing those ministers because they felt it was a threat to, you know, the old Jim Crow laws and all of the things that were suppressing us and really putting chains around our minds. Right? And, you know, it was actually the challenge of the AME church to, you know, bring back that dignity and that pride as to who we are and what we've done. And, you know, so where I'm trying to go with this is that everything I truly learned, I learned from my grandparents and in the AME church, going there on Sundays and Bible school and everything else. That's how I learned my Black history. And for the most part, most of us, that's what it was. You learned it from home. Right. But I think as a Black community, I think where we're missing the boat, that's not directed toward us. I keep hearing us yelling about that. And as you said, that's our responsibility. But that's directed, and Dee has heard me say this several times, it's the George Floyd effect. Right. When George Floyd was killed and they started having those demonstrations, there were more people out there of the other color than us. Amen. And that's what scares them. Absolutely. That's what scares, you know, those who, you know, want to make America great again, meaning hold us down. When they seen their kids out there and their young people, that scared them to death. I even had some white friends say, well, why are all the white people out there? Right. Well, they're all out there because they grew up around all their Black friends. They go to college with their Black friends. Right. You know, schools have been integrated. You know, people live together in the same communities. Why shouldn't they care about each other? You know,
Coach, you make some unbelievable, valid points, and people that don't deal with kids, they don't understand where kids are today. Right. You know, I always say, if you want to have peace in your life, surround yourself with kids.
Yeah, that's true.
They are amazing. They know exactly what's going on.
Yes.
As I talk to kids and I see what's going on here, I always tell people it's real simple. The only thing worse than being a fool is following a fool. Yeah. So that's true. When you see what's going on in this country, you see the older, and I'm 67 years old, but older than me, generation that don't have a clue. They're ignorant. They've never been around. Wow, they're still stuck on their parents and their great grandparents philosophy on life and how well feel threatened. There's fear. There's fear that we about us. What are they be afraid about us for? They've been bought into that mindset.
Absolutely.
We're thugs and we're not. We're great fathers. We're great leaders. We work hard. We're hard workers. Most of the people in my circle, they're with their kids and they're with their families. They're Christian God-fearing men.
Right. Absolutely.
They want to put this image out here, but these kids today, they grew up together. Like you said, same music. They like to dress alike. They love sports. They got the same hero. Just drive down any street in the summertime and see what these white kids are listening to.
Yeah.
Of course.
How they're dressing.
Yes.
But their great grandparents don't understand and don't care about that. Then it's killing them.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
don't want nothing to do with it. So
Exactly.
I believe these kids are going to change the world. I believe they're going to take this country back. I believe in these kids. I believe they're going to take this country back.
Absolutely.
And it's not going to be us grown folks. We have let them down, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So we just got to do what we can while we can to fight and produce some of those walking trophies, no matter what color they are.
I love it. Walking trophies.
And I just think it's time for that's why I love talking to brothers like you guys and just be in the right circle and keep encouraging each other, inspiring each other, because we need it, because we know we're fighting against Satan's out here doing his thing. But thank God he's undefeated. So
absolutely,
just keep fighting.
Yeah. Well, Walt, and obviously, I mean, I love this conversation is so powerful, man, and I really want to kind of shift because you're contributing right now, right? You're working with young people right now. You have programs you got going on, and I really want you to take a moment just to talk about it, because I really want people to understand what you're currently doing and how you're investing in that next generation of leaders that are coming up.
I certainly appreciate that, and I just believe that we need standards in this country. We need standards. Everybody talking about laws and rights, and how about just being a decent human being? How about just having great standards? You know,
absolutely,
and not arguing about if you're a donkey or elephant or asshole.
Let's
do the right thing. It's not about being right. Let's do what's right, even though it might not be something you want to do. But the majority of people say we need to do this. Let's side with the majority of the people. We're team players, right? Coach, we're team players, coach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Now, everybody can't shoot the ball, coach, right? Everybody can't shoot the ball. So
know your job.
In this country, everybody want to shoot the damn ball. You know, and we can't win when everybody's shooting the ball.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
So what we have to do is have some standards, basic standards. So I created some leadership pieces. I do leadership seminars all around the country. So I wanted to do basketball camps. So people kept asking me to do basketball camps. If I'm just going to do basketball camps and teach 18 dribble drills and all that stuff, I'm out. If it don't include leadership and standards and my faith, and I can't talk about that, I'm not doing it. Right. So I created something called Hoops and Standards leadership camp. And so we've had 4 camps this summer, 2 already, got 2 more to finish. And we did one in my hometown in Indiana, 220 kids. And and my topics are like the camp. The topic this year was you versus you. You versus you. Okay, so that's the stiffest competition is the 6 inches between your ears.
Absolutely.
Don't look to the right to look to the left. It's you versus you. What you think, what you believe. Everybody's talking about somebody else's expectations. Those expectations don't mean nothing. It's the only thing that matters is what you expect. What you believe, right? That's the only thing that matters. And I always reflect back to kids telling me, well, Coach Jordan, I have no confidence. We got to fix that. That has nothing to do with anybody else but you, right? And so then we have to get them to understand that they're driving. I got this thing called "Who's driving your bus?" Who's driving your bus? You've got to drive your own bus. Hell, you trying to go to California and have the people on your bus trying to get you to go to New York.
Two opposite directions. Totally different. Totally different.
Who's on your bus? The third thing is, do you know where the hell you're going? Where are you going?
That's true.
You have a plan, you know, and sometimes you got to kick people off of that bus.
Right.
Everybody ain't meant to be on your bus. If your bus break down, how many of those people on your bus gonna help you fix it, or they're just gonna catch the next bus?
There you go. You go.
So who's driving your bus? And then, the exercise that I found the most powerful is that, and the truth is, see, everybody's lying. When I wrote my book, Gracefully Broken, when I wrote my book, someone told me I sold 4,000 copies of the book. I would not believe it. But my brother said, I surrendered. God wrote the book. But the book was transparent about my life. Didn't talk about how great I was. Talk about some highlights and Hall of Fame and all that stuff. But also talked about mistakes I made, the womenizing. Talked about the fact that I was not a good husband. I could have been a better husband. Right. The fact that I got 2 divorces, that was my fault. That I manned it up. Because I got so tired during the pandemic of people lying, and good or bad indifference. I wanted my children to know my truth. If something was to happen to me, well, my dad wasn't perfect, but he was strong and he was a leader, and he manned it up. God has forgiven me. So I have grown spiritually, and I'm a better man today because of it. Better husband, better father, better man. When God forgives you, you don't give a damn what nobody else says.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So when people lie on me, I say, well, it's in the book. It's in the book.
It is in the book.
Gotcha. So, but I've got peace for the first time in my life because I was transparent, because I told my own story and not leaving to someone else to tell my story for me.
That's powerful, Walt. That is powerful, man.
Absolutely. Well, Walt, what actually drove you to actually write the book? And, you just expressed, who the audience was that you directed your book toward, but what actually came across your mind to say, Walter Jordan, I'm going to write this book? What was it?
Well, I was just at a downtime in my life, to be honest with you, where the political scene was a mess. The George Floyd's incidents,
right?
You see black on black. You see what the police brutality and even our so-called political leaders.
Right.
It just made me sick to my stomach. And I had idle time. And every day I do 3 things. I get up in the morning, I praise Him, I read, and I write. That's what I do every morning.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Those things I do. I just automatically got used to doing it. And so I was sitting down in my man cave one day, and I just started writing. And next thing you know, I kept writing. And then I started reflecting on my life and, how, 7 boys growing up in 1 bedroom, 10 kids, 1 bedroom, one bathtub,
right.
I got, and just one bathroom. And 7 boys in 1 bedroom. And I still don't know how my mom and dad did it. I know how I did it now, but when I was younger, I couldn't figure it out.
Right.
How could we do it? Didn't have anything. 7 of us got through college.
Wow. How about that?
All of us God-fearing people. All of us. We don't drink. We don't smoke. We don't do any of that. And we're all 63 years and older, and we're still here. And that's because we were living on Mama's prayers.
Right.
So I got to thinking about my life, and I started writing about my stories about my life. And next thing I know, I was saying, you know what? This is beginning to be fun, because I kept reflecting back on my neighborhood. I call it 312 East Masterson Street. I grew up in, where we thought we were filthy poor, but I look back, we were filthy rich. Because we went to church. I tell people all the time the Jordans were drugged. Everybody say, what do you mean? Y'all were drugged? I said, yeah, we were drugged. We were drugged at church on Wednesdays.
Right.
So, we were drugged. But we didn't understand at the time, but the foundation and the standards were set.
Yes. Yeah.
This is who we are. This is what we do. We praise God and give Him the glory in all things. Mm-hmm. And so as I start to write, it just made sense. And I wrote about 4 or 5 chapters, and I called my sisters. I couldn't think of a title for the book, because I needed a title so I can know where I was going with it, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And so after 4 or 5 months, I kept about 8 or 9 different titles. I confessed. So I called my sister. She's brilliant. She's 1 year older than me. Her name is Lorietta. She's a writer. She's 3 or 4 degrees. So I called up in Virginia. I said, "Hey sis, I'm having a situation here. I'm writing." She said, "You writing a book?" I said, "Yeah, I'm writing a book." She said, "That's awesome." I said, I can't find the title for the book, no matter what. I can't figure it out. And she says, hold on. She went away. She came back about 5 seconds later. She said, I got the perfect title for your book. I said, what is it? I said, you don't need me to send you what I wrote so far? She said, no. She said, well, I got to read something I already know.
Right,
then she
right,
said,
exactly.
Then she says, the name of your book is Gracefully Broken. I dropped the damn phone.
Man.
Yeah.
That was like, God, like, whoa.
Right.
Like, what is it, sis? Gracefully broken. And seemed like the book just flew from there. It just flew. My thought process just flew from there because I was just open up about everything. And then when my wife gave me the okay, she would always say, just be honest. Just tell the truth.
Right.
She said, tell everything. My wife said, tell everything.
Right.
That's a strong woman.
No question.
Sure.
So I'm not going anywhere. I love you. I know what you went through. I know some of the stuff you did.
Right.
I'm still here.
Right.
You know. So I had, when I had her blessing and God's blessing and I got the title of the book, the next thing I know, I put it in action and people responded beyond dreams. So yes.
Man, that's big, Walter. That's powerful, man. Powerful, powerful, powerful. And I love how, you know, when your sister gave you the title, that was really the spirit that moved you. You knew that,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a big deal, man.
And he did it all the way through. But you probably can relate to this because I know your journey. I know you've had some health issues. I know I followed you yourself. You know, I had a quadruple bypass, but we have angels all around us.
Absolutely.
My angel appeared a week before my senior year. My mom passed away at 17. And she was my angel. She's the most prayingest woman in the world. Every night on her knees, out loud, praying upstairs in the bedroom. Out loud, all of her kids down here playing, acting stupid. She upstairs praying, not getting up till she mentioned all her children by name in a prayer every night. Right. So when she passed away from that, week before my senior year, that year was a blur. It was like God had me, like she was with me all the way. I go from one scholarship offer to over 100 and some scholarship offers.
Wow.
In less than a year. Nobody knew about Walter Jordan. We're going to win the Indiana State Championship, 17,000, Assembly Hall. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff started happening. The Spartans start calling, the Hoosiers start calling.
Right.
In less than 6-7 months, all that happened. My angel, she's been with me every day until this. She's still with me to the day. I feel her spirit today.
Absolutely.
My mama, you know. So I know what you were saying about the spirit. It's real. But once you surrender and humble yourself.
There you go. There you go. I love that. I love that. Because you know what you're saying is really get rid of the ego and really take a step back and realize that you can't do anything without provision and without guidance. And that's really what it's about. You got the ability to take a step back and go, okay, what's really going on?
Absolutely, bro. That's strong. Absolutely.
Well, when I hear you speak, you know, you're talking about relationship with God. You're talking about not the institution of the church. And it's my feeling that today, the institution of the church, no matter what denomination it is, I believe that's the major vehicle that is driving young people away from the church. I don't think people understand this. You know, I just retired from coaching. I've been coaching for 40 years.
Congratulations, Coach.
No, thank you. And, you know, I formalized some good relationship with a lot of young men. And, you know, you hear a lot out there where the kids don't want to go to church. You know, where are all the young people in the church? Well, you protecting the institution of the church itself, the money, the position, the power, the political games you play within your church. They don't want that. They want to have a relationship with God.
Right.
And what people don't understand, is that a lot of young people, if you pick up that phone and look at that phone and look at their music, yeah, they have some of that crazy stuff on there, but almost every single one of them young men to a man will have a playlist of gospel and spiritual music, and they listen to it. And you're going to tell me that they have no connection with God because they won't come into your institutionalized thoughts on religion? That's not going to get you there. That's not going to get you to have the kind of spirit that Walter Jordan has,
right?
You know, that wants to reach out and touch his fellow man. That's not going to get you there. That's not going to establish a personal relationship with Christ himself. It's not going to do it. So, you know, I heard T.D. Jakes. He was on a podcast, but it was on television. Him and 3 other ministers. This was during COVID.
Right.
And TD asked these guys a very provocative question that you would have thought would be easy for ministers to answer. He said to them, how many of you feel comfortable about getting up in the pulpit on Sunday and saying to your congregation that racism is a sin? Of those 3 guys who are all white, only one of them said that they could do that. Now, I mean, Walter, come on.
Yeah,
come on.
You know, you are hitting on some very some of my pet peeves because pulpits to me mean nothing to me.
Yeah, I got you.
What happens on Sunday means nothing to me.
Exactly.
What's happened from Monday to Sunday.
Okay.
Right.
It's what's needed.
Right.
If you don't have the courage to understand, you have to stand up to some politicians, and you can't play a red against blue or donkey against elephant.
Right.
Because of finances, because of power structure, because of something else, and then you want to twist the word into something that you want. Everybody want to use the word, the Bible, and twist it to their justification of their evil
exactly.
preference, and that's
no
wrong. Kids want to be able to just teach the word and let them decipher for their own
exactly
what they want to believe, because it's a different time. Right. The Constitution was written how many years ago? Right. So adjustments need to be made, and then read the whole Constitution.
Exactly.
You know, love thy neighbor is still love thy neighbor. It don't say they got to do it right. It says love thy neighbor.
Yes, sir.
That's a commandment. That's not debatable. Absolutely. That's why we debating that.
Right. Right.
Is it immigrants? Are the immigrants our neighbor? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love thy neighbor. God made it plain. He didn't say it was a period. It wasn't a comma or, love thy neighbor. Yes. Then you gonna tell me that you're a pastor in the church?
Exactly.
God's word. I read the Bible. I know my 10 commandments.
Exactly. That's unbelievable.
So when I see these guys, I know everybody. I have a lot of friends who's in ministry. A lot of them. I would say half of them I wouldn't follow across the street.
Okay,
but keep it real.
Yeah.
Okay.
They can be friends of mine, but half of them I wouldn't follow across the street. I know what they do from Monday through Sunday.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they memorize. They good. They can repeat some scriptures, and they can get in front of their pulpit, and they can make some people shout and scream.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But what's going to happen 3 or 4 hours after that?
Absolutely.
No, that's
anything. Have you filled them up with some hope, and you gave them some stuff that they can build on for their life?
Right.
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
Man. So couple things, obviously this is a powerful conversation, man. I think it's, things that, we're having tough talks right now. That's what we're doing right now. Having real conversations. But two things pop into my mind, Walter, that I want to talk to you about that I think are important. Obviously, we want to make sure that, you know, people can get access to your book. So I need you to make sure that when we put this out and on our website, we'll have your link. So I need you to send that over. But then more than that, one of the things that Coach and I have been talking about, which we think is powerful, like if you had something that you wanted to share, something that you thought the audience and the people listening and the people who are tuning in could take away from you being on the show, what would that message be? And take your time, because I really want you to think about it, because I want you to really give them something that can help them be a better person, because that's really why we're having this show.
I appreciate that, D. Well, I'm pretty simple about everything in my life. I don't try to complicate anything. You can find all the information, my events, my book, what I'm doing, videos on everything I've done. My website is simply walterjordan.com. walterjordan.com. You click on whatever you want to click on my book, you'll see the history of the book and testimonials on my book, my events, everything that I do, my speaking engagements, everything is on there.
Right.
You know, I think we all have a purpose in life. And when our time comes, it's very important that we strive to meet and find out what that purpose is. So I believe everybody is already great. Already have greatness inside of them, but they never pursued it because they never had the courage of someone to tell them, hey, you can do this. Never someone tell them, hey, you're an eagle, you're not a chicken. You can win, you can fly, you can. We were born to perform at a genius level. I just believe that.
Absolutely. God
didn't make no junk. And everybody can overcome whatever it is they're going through if they believe. If they believe, you can't do this without faith. I can't imagine people living their life without faith and knowing that there's something bigger than better than you and higher being that can give you what you need to win. Because I believe we all can win. I want everybody to win that wants to win. The problem is a lot of us don't want to win. We want to watch other people win or believe somebody else is supposed to win and not them. I heard from people that kids have low self-esteem. I had a kid come to me last week. He said, Coach Jordan, everybody in my class hate me. He's a 9th grader. Why you say they hate you? He says, I don't know. I said, let me tell you something. I said, you're 19, you're 9th grade. You're handsome, you're articulate, you're intelligent, you're the best basketball player, you're the best athlete in school. I said, you're going to have some haters. I said, congratulations.
Right.
And I said, let me ask you a question. I said, out of 10 people, how many people you say hate you out of 10? He said, oh, probably 3 out of 10. I started laughing. He said, why are you laughing, Coach Jordan? I said, you focusing on the wrong number. Actually, you need to be focusing on the 70% of people that do.
Absolutely.
Right, exactly.
That do believe you. Stop focusing on the garbage that Satan's trying to get you to put in your head. Absolutely. I said, you don't even know you winning and you winning.
Yeah,
I said, in this country, if you got 50% of the people that love you, you're on top of the world. You got 70% of the people. I said, you need to start having this conversation with me because you winning.
You winning.
You never look at it like that, Coach. I said, well, you taking the guy's girlfriend, so that's one. Better than the other guy on the basketball court, so that's another one.
Exactly.
Backup quarterback, and you starting quarterback, so he's gonna hate you.
Yeah, exactly. So you got a whole bunch of issues.
Right.
Just keep shining, go win, son.
Exactly.
So we gotta focus on the right numbers, right?
That's good.
And all this media garbage, and political numbers, and all that stuff, and this is gonna happen and that's gonna happen. Do we not know that 99% of the things we worry about never happens?
Right.
That's true.
Do we not know that?
Yeah.
Because he's in control. It's already been predetermined. We just don't even know the outcome yet. So relax. Live life. Don't get so depressed and have anxiety. And get up in the morning, be excited.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Be excited. And understand who he is. Coach, you said something at the beginning of the program. Know who God says you are.
Yeah.
Go win. Why are we sitting here so depressed about life? Okay, this is gonna happen. These people are, my friend says it all the time, amazing. Let's be real. Yeah. Worst thing about this world is the people. The worst thing about this world is the people. The best thing about this world is the people.
World of people, yes.
So we have to just we have to just keep it a level keel here and do what we're supposed to do. Find our purpose, go to work, bless some people, have faith in God, surround yourself with the right people. Who's on my bus? I know who's on my bus. You brothers
absolutely
definitely be on my bus.
Right.
But that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do.
Right.
That's great. Man, that's powerful.
Very powerful. Very powerful. Well, Walter, it is indeed a pleasure to have you on Tough Talks Unlimited. And I hope you enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed you. We were looking forward to possibly having you on again.
Absolutely.
And, you guys do an amazing job, man. I did listen to a couple of your podcasts and do an amazing job, man. It's so good to talk to real brothers. I know D, Coach, now I know you, but I know D was real, so that's why I said I was going to do it. Right. We know we get, we have our choices to do these kind of things, but I know you brothers do a great job. I know you're sincere. I know your heart. And I wanted to, first of all, see D and just, man, I've been praying for you, man. I text you a couple of times when you're going through what you're going through.
Yes.
See you face to face and just let you know, man, that you're my prayers and you and your family, and got nothing but love and respect for you. And Coach, mad love to you too. You guys keep doing what you're doing, man. We need this. So.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
Once again, you're a phenomenal man. You're a man of God. And I can see that anointing all over you.
Absolutely.
Same here, Pat. Same here, Coach. Appreciate it.
Take care. Take care, man.
Mad love. Thank you, guys.